Being Stoke City fans just like being on a roller coaster. Last week we were down, this week we're back up again. How are you all doing? Welcome back to Where Potters Walk. It's 20 more minutes of Stoke City chat. This week we're celebrating one man. Ruby says Bae Jun-Ho's best performance of the season so far. He was absolutely unbelievable against Swansea. And Seb UK says F the Bay haters. Let's see them now talk. Well, I don't think we've got any haters on here, but we've certainly got some people on here who might want to apologise to him. We've got Adam, George and Carl back with us this week, giving us their view on just how good Stoke were against Swansea. Plus, also coming up this week, we want your thoughts on who's the best ever penalty taker you've ever seen for Stoke City, the one person that you could always rely on to put it in the back of the net. We're also talking about the FA Cup draw, how good or bad deflated were we with what we got, and we're up to the letter J, of course, in our A to Z of Stoke City. Oh, we've lost one there. Ask about that. Hope you're doing well. Nearly Christmas time. Adam, just how good was J Bun-Ho?
Yeah, it was a good game, wasn't it? Again, nice to get a win with a difficult set of fixtures coming up over Christmas. But yeah, Juno, I think we've talked to it over the last couple of weeks, or the guys that have been on over the last couple of weeks have talked to him. He has this tendency to start hitting form around the second half of the season, which is a bit weird. He's done it in each of his 3 last seasons. He really starts slow and then gets going. I think a slight mix-up behind, a slight change-up in personnel behind him has helped. I think Pearson and Seko have really come into their own in those 2 positions behind him, which has ultimately given him a bit of freedom to just stay in that number 10 position and not have to do too much other than run forward when he gets the ball. But yeah, he was the driving force yesterday of everything good we did. Every time he got the ball, he's driving forward, he's making things happen. And I said it earlier in the season, I think that front 4, whilst we might not have the number 9 quite figured out exactly what we want to do with that yet, the other 3, the 2 wingers and Juno, are giving teams a lot of trouble this season. And I think that's where teams struggle against us, because they don't know which one to man mark, and inevitably the one that they don't man mark is the one that wins us the game. Even though it wasn't Juno yesterday, but he had a fantastic game, and yeah, great win. Let's hope now that this is a turnaround from the last 5 or 6 and we start winning a few more again.
Yeah, let's hope so. Lou says we're a different side with Pearson in there. He holds everything together. We'll have a chat about obviously his goal in a minute, Carl. But what else? What does he give you that others don't in this similar role?
Grit, aggression, determination. He's one of them players that if he plays for your side, you absolutely love him. If you play against him, you hate him. He's a vile little player, but I love that about him. He's a top professional, really. He's very clever. He knows when to do the tactical fouls. He's always barking in the referee's ear. He'll lose the ball and he'll instantly run and try and win it back. He just brings that bit of fight in midfield, what we've been lacking for the last few games, I feel. He tidies work up, and he's a tidy passer of the ball. And as we saw, we didn't know because we haven't seen it in 6 years, but he can certainly hit a ball. I'd say the only one thing about him that he certainly can't do is dance.
Yeah, a little bit weird, wasn't it? Celebrations. But I mean, this one from Ken, George, the players may be starting to get the message about not prattling about with the ball in the final third. Have a shot. Yeah, something might happen. Yeah, we've seen a few of those, haven't we, as well? Do you mind that as a fan, that we're having shots from that far out?
Yeah, I think that's what Jono's been lacking. I think having more shots, but he's been brilliant in the last couple of games, trying to get the ball and have more shots. And Pearson yesterday and Stowe since 2019 having a shot from the edge of the box. I didn't think it'll go in, but it's an unbelievable goal, and that's what we should do, have more shots from the edge of the box, and you never know, they might go in like Pearson did yesterday, so I think more shots from the edge of the box would be good.
Yeah, who else impressed you, George?
I think Berricat was brilliant. Came for Creswell, I think he was outstanding, won the ball a lot of times, and it was my man's match yesterday. Berricat, I think, did really well against their winger. Berricat was brilliant for me, I thought.
Yeah. Some word on the referee, Adam. Some fans are saying, oh, no, sorry, not that one. Callum says, average performance, but a massive win. Jun-Ho, great game. Ref was a Swansea fan, should have had about 10 yellow cards and 7 minutes added on, but only 2 minutes at Ipswich. They're as corrupt as anything, this league, yeah. Do you share that view?
I don't call them corrupt. I just think referees at the championship level and below, and even in the Premiership, they just aren't good, are they? They're just in a worldwide game now that's where we've got billions and billions of pounds. The only thing that hasn't moved on is the standard of refereeing in this game, and yeah, it was shocking. And I think it was shocking for both teams yesterday. There was little niggles of fouls that he was giving up, and then there was big issues that he wasn't. I know the big one that everyone's talking to in the stoppage time where we broke. He played on until he saw it was a head injury where we'd got the ball in a really good position to put a ball into the box. He blew up and then give it back to their keeper to play on after when the players had received. And just strange decisions week in, week out in this division. The referees just aren't good enough. And I don't see the FA doing anything about it either. I think it's talked about every week on every station, at every level. We talk about how bad referees in the game are. Yet there's no answer, or there's no way of the FA doing anything about it or talking about what they're going to do. You know, and I've been long an advocate for you know, you have thousands and thousands of young men walking out of the game at 18, 19, 20 years old every year. Why aren't the FA taking these young people, training them up to a good standard, even if you give them an apprenticeship on a 5-6 year standard, so they're all at the right standard together, and then unleashing them on the game together? And instead we get these what seem to be 50, 60-year-old blokes who are former chicken farmers in Mark Dean's former profession that have never played the game, and they just don't know how to run a game. It's quite clear. It frustrates the life out of me.
I think he was equally bad, like you said, for both sides, wasn't he? I mean, I've seen Swansea fans moan. I struggle to see how they could actually moan, but when they make their points, I do get it. I've said it as well. Have a point scoring system, have a table for the referees, score them how you know they've been seen. Let the managers of the teams score them each week. If they get below so many points, send them down to League Two. No offence to League Two, because it sounds cruel on them, but that's what you do. And then if you've got the referees in the lower leagues that are, you know, performing and getting good scores off managers, let them go up. Do a you know, promotion and point scoring thing for the referees, because the standard of them in this league, considering it's the second biggest league in the country and it's a massive league worldwide, it's shambolic. That yesterday, I don't know where they got him from. I could have done a better job than that.
Quick word on the Ipswich performance, George, as well.
It was a weird game for me. We had big opportunities, and they had big opportunities. I know we couldn't pass the ball at all versus Ipswich. We got the ball, we gave it straight back away. Then we didn't really try anything with it. The final third for me, the Barmer, that first half, goodness me, it was not a very good performance from him. But yeah, it was a difficult place to go, Ipswich, but I think we fired well, but we weren't looking up to anything in the end. But it was a double win yesterday, important win yesterday.
Great. On to Watford then we go this weekend before Preston visitors on Boxing Day. Our final two that we haven't yet played. Before we get into other little bits and pieces, just a massive thank you to everyone who's commented on any of our videos. We're so close to 300 subs now. That'd be amazing if you haven't yet subbed, if you just found the channel, 20 minutes of Stoke City chat every single week. Michael Owens commented last week, fellas, on the eye that we should have done. And if you saw this, was the Icelandic Consortium. Was the biggest influences on Stoke. Yeah, thank you. Good shout that, Michael. Thank you so much as well. Thank you very much to David and Jeff Lee as well, who also comment on all the videos as well. Every time you comment, we do read it, folks. We're not one of those channels where just, you know, comments just drive our traffic. We do genuinely read it and respond to all the comments. So if you've got a comment on this next little bit, we'd certainly love to hear from you. Right, the FA Cup draw then, please, Carl.
Absolutely shambolic. It's a terrible draw for both sides, isn't it? Let's be honest. I don't think Coventry are excited at the prospect of coming to Stoke. We're not excited at them coming. We just wanted a team that's not in the Championship. We've got to play them again, and they're high flying. I don't think we're going to get a big crowd because it's January. It was just a rubbish draw for both sides. I'm not saying like it's no disrespect to Coventry. I know they're flying. They probably will be a Premier League side next season, but for this season they're a Championship side, and it's an absolute bore of a draw.
We never get any good draws, do we? Like, I
Never.
can't remember the last time we got a good draw in the Cup, in the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. Like, all these Championship teams, it's just, does me head in.
I think I said it earlier in the season when we were talking about the League Cup, that if you look at both cups, the League Cup and the FA Cup, since we come down, the year we come down, we got knocked out of one of the cups. The FA Cup, I think it was, by Liverpool. We played Liverpool 2 seasons in the Cup 2 years running. They knocked us out 2 years running. Since then, since we've come down, we've been knocked out by Brighton twice in the FA Cup. And you look at all the other teams we've played, they've been poor Championship teams or below that have knocked us out. We haven't had a big Premier League team since then. So coming on 8-9 years now, which I know it's, I'm not throwing shade at Brighton there. They're clearly a good Premier League team, but you want one of those recognised top 6 teams, aren't you? And we just know Coventry at home, they're going to beat us. Cold January night, no crowd, and again we're out of the Cup for another year with not playing one of those big teams again. Yeah.
Having said all of that, though, we did speak to Coventry fans on this, and you were dead right. Their reaction was even worse than yours, having to go to Stoke. But they were like, "Look, Lampard's not going to care about the cup at all. His sole thing is just promotion. So they're not going to play the strongest side. They're not going to probably play the half the strongest side. They're just going to put the second fiddle in. So if you go strong, you've definitely got a chance of getting out to round 4. So
I don't think we will either, though. I think that's the thing. I don't think we will either, given the season, given the amount of fixtures we've got over Christmas, some real tough games coming up. Yeah, I don't think we'll go strong for it either. I don't think Robbins will be interested. I think, again, he'll be aiming for that top half of the table, playoff push. I think he'll go for a weakened team.
If we go strong, we'll beat them 2-0 at home. We'll draw Brighton away.
At least it's not at home this time.
Yeah.
Okay. Right then. Also, we noticed there's loads of penalties that have been missed in the Championship or saved so far. So it's got us thinking: if you were 1-1 in a game, past or present, any Stoke player you want, who would you put your mortgage on stepping up and scoring that penalty? We want one name from each of you, and in the comments, please do let us know yours if we miss any. George, who would yours be?
For me, it's probably Lewis Baker. I don't think I've seen him miss one. Every time he's had a penalty, I don't think he's missed one. So for me, it'll be Lewis Baker.
Yep. Adam?
Are we talking past or present players? Anyone?
Any player that you've ever seen in Stoke shirt?
James Beattie. I don't think he missed many penalties for Stoke.
Okay. Carl?
Yeah, I was going to go James Beattie, but for throw a different name in, he did miss a few, but I'll go Johnny Walters.
Okay. Did he miss 2 in one game, didn't he? Or was he scored?
Chelsea.
Scored 2 own goals, missed a penalty.
And kicked the ball in his own face, if I remember rightly, that same game, yeah.
Brilliant. Right. Also, finally this week then, we're up to J in our A to Z of Stoke. They found I really tricky last week, so hopefully J is a little easier. Carl, what have you got?
I've had a look at the list, and I think the man that should go in is Victor Johansson for obvious reasons. There is another couple. I'll probably let the lads. I'll probably say who I'm thinking of. But yeah, I'll put Victor Johansson straight in there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, presumably because we single-handedly kept you up last season.
Yeah, well, he's kept us up, and he's been a class act since he come. He was a bargain buy. So for that reason, I mean, there's a good couple of J's in there, but single-handedly kept us up, save after save, season after season. So yeah, I'd put him in for that reason. He's been a class act since he's come to Stoke.
Bro, George,
Jocelyn.
Okay.
For me, Jocelyn, scored some goals. Linked up with Bowie, and Jocelyn for me for Jane.
Okay. Adam?
Just to change it up, Glenn Johnson. I think he goes underrated in that team that was, finishing ninth place in the Premier League. A couple of the big hitters I probably talked about a little bit more, the Arnautovic's and the Bojans, where Glenn Johnson was pretty solid for us in that period as well. But I think Johansson is probably my picking as well. Just to tag on Johansson yesterday, my lad was a mascot yesterday, so we had a bit of interaction with the players and went out and saw the players coming in and doing the crowd work. Johansson is incredible at that stuff. Like most of the players, when they're turning up and signing autographs, they're doing it as quick as possible. They want to, sign the ball, sign the match programs, and get out. Johansson was fantastic with the fans, having conversations, really spending the time out there with them as well. So, top guy, as well as one of the best players we've got, if not the best player at the club at the minute.
Good, brilliant to hear. Yeah. Good. Any notable mentions, Carl? Then the lads didn't pick up on.
Yeah, I was going to go Joselu, or likewise, I was going to go Glenn Johnson. I think.
Okay.
We had Idago Johnson. Oh no, that's a G, isn't it? Yeah, ignore me. Stick with them too.
No, back to school we go. Right. Thanks so much then, fellas. Appreciate it. Thank you, of course, so much for watching. Next week we will look back on how we've gone on at Watford away. I'm looking ahead to Preston, of course, at Christmas as well, and on to K and not A to Z. Thank you so much, you three. Appreciate all your comments this week. Stoke are on the up. We hope until Watford on Saturday at 3:00. Right. See you then. Thanks so much for watching.